all you beautiful people, how you doing today? This is Lava Temptress and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. Hi! So today we're going to be doing another Humble bundle that just came out, and this one is a comics bundle. And it's called New and Classic Dungeons and Dragons by IDW Publishing. So these are digital comic books, and maybe some of your classic favorites are in here, or maybe you can find some new favorites. But this is actually a pretty cool deal. Now, Humble evaluates it at $332 worth of awesome stuff, but I actually came up with a higher amount than that. But as always, I have it broken down for you as far as how much each tier in each book is actually worth. So, as with most of the book or comic bundles, these are DRM free, which means you can have them on all your different devices at the same time, which comes in so very handy. So you can have it on your desktop, your laptop, your tablets, your phones, all the different places, which is where multi-format comes in. Today, these are in, well, it just says in multiple file types. You gotta love it when they say that. But typically, usually, it's usually EPUB with comic books, CBZ, and EPUB file and PDF files. But you know, this one doesn't say, so I don't want to say that for sure because that's not. It doesn't actually tell me. So you can always see how much time is left here. Click here if you already know what you want from the bundle, or down below after you take a look at what's in the bundle. If you need to for any reason, don't forget to hit the reminder bell so that way it'll send you an email to remind you to come take a look before it's over. Trust me, that has saved my butt numerous times. All right, so let's get started. For just $1, we get these 5 comic books, but there's a catch. A couple of these are volumes, which includes multiple issues like this one. This is Dragonlance Classics Volume 1, but it includes volumes 1 through 8 of the series. So it's not just one. And of course, you can click here to get a PDF preview, or once it turns into the hand icon like so, then you can click on that link and take a look on the website that actually provides these. And so you can get more information there. But I'm just going to go through and tell you what's included in each tier and how much they're actually worth normally, so you can better get an understanding of what your value would actually be. All right, so for the first one, it is Dragonlance Classics Volume 1. This is normally $11.99, and again, it includes issues 1 through 8. Then we have Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 1, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. Next up is, and that one, is $11.99 normally. Next up, we have Dungeons and Dragons Infernal Tides number 1. This one is normally $1.99. Next, we have Dungeons and Dragons at the Spine of the World number 1. This one is also normally $1.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms Classics Volume 1. This one again includes issues 1 through 8, the very first 8 issues. So even though it's one book, you get multiples in there, and that is normally $11.99. So that brings our total for the dollar tier to $39.95. Next up, we have a $10 tier, and if you're unfamiliar with the way Humble works, there's different tiers, and you can choose to purchase whichever one you want, and you'll get everything above that. So $10, you'll get the dollar. Today, we also have $18 and $25. $25, of course, you would get everything on the page. All right, so for our $10 tier, we have 8 more books, but again, some of these have multiples. So for the first one is Dungeons and Dragons Infernal Tides number 3. This one is normally $1.99. Next up, Dragonlance Legends Time of the Twins. This one is normally $9.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Evil at Baldur's Gate. This one is normally $8.99. Then we have Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 2, Dragons of Winter Night. And this one is normally $11.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Volume 2, First Encounters. And this one is normally $9.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Infernal Tides number 2. This one is normally $3.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Classics Volume 1. This is another multiple one. So this one includes the first 1 through 8 issues of the series. So this one is normally $19.99. And then we have Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms Classics Volume 2. And this one includes issues 9 through 14, and it is normally $11.99. So that brings our total for tiers 1 and 2 to $118.87. Next up, our third tier is $18. And we have 10 more. Yes, 10 more books in here. And again, we have a couple that are multiples. So first off, we have Dungeons and Dragons Classics Volume 3. This includes issues 19 through 26, plus the 1990 Annual Volume 1. So this is normally $24.99. They only have a print version of this one, so that's for print, not digital. Next up, we have Dragonlance Classics Volume 3, and this includes issues 17 through 25, and this is normally $12.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms Classics Volume 4, and this one is normally $19.99. And this one didn't say, but it sounds like it has multiples, but that one I'm actually not sure of. So this one is normally $19.99. Next up, we have Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 3, Dragons of Spring Dawning. This one is normally $9.99. Next up, we have Dungeons and Dragons Volume 3, Down. This one is normally $9.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons A Darkened Wish. This one is normally $7.99. Next up, Dungeons and Dragons Classics Volume 2. And this does include issues 9 through 18 and is normally $24.99. Again, print. There isn't a digital version that you can buy online. Not that I can find. Next up, we have Dragonlance Classics Volume 2. And this one is normally $11.99 and includes issues 9 through 16. Next up, Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms Classics Volume 3. And this includes issues 15 through 18 plus annual number 1 for $11.99 normally. And then Dragonlance The Legend of Huma, and that is normally $9.99. So that brings our total so far to $263.77. Last tier today is $25, and it includes 9 more sets. Now these, I didn't get any with multiple episodes, but it sounds like some of them do, but I couldn't confirm that. So, for the first one, Dungeons and Dragons Volume 1 Shadow Plague, it is normally $9.99. Then the Dungeons and Dragons Abris Wren of Erebon. Eberron. Yep. It's late, guys. That's normally $7.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Legends of Baldur's Gate, and that one is normally $22.99. And next up, Dungeons and Dragons The Legend of Drizzt Volume 1 Homeland. That one is normally $7.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Dark Sun Volume 1 Yanto's Tomb, and that one is normally $9.99. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms number 1, or Volume 1, excuse me. And that one is usually $24.99, excuse me. See, some of these, like, especially when they're $24.99, Sounds like there's multiples, but I could not confirm that with this one, with the Baldur's Gate, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. And then we have Dungeons and Dragons Shadows of the Vampire. That one is normally $22.99. Then Dungeons and Dragons Frost Giant's Fury. This one is normally $22.99. And Dungeons and Dragons Classics Volume 4, which is also normally $22.99. And again, sounds like it would have multiples, but I could not confirm. And this one actually isn't even available for sale currently. So that one apparently is pretty popular. Well, that brings our grand total that I found to $416.68. And of course, you're getting it for $25. This would give you quite a bit of reading time. As always, Humble supports a charity. This one is for Hasbro Children's Fund. And then if you scroll down, here's where you're actually going to go to purchase. Sometimes the dollar amount disappears, and that's okay. You can just put it in the custom amount. But what you're going to do is just select whichever one for the tier that you want to purchase. Or if you want to put in another amount, because you can add to charity or whatever else you would like. If you purchase anything other than the top tier, though, these warnings do pop up. And that's okay. It's just saying if you pay this much more, you'll get this tier. And that's all that's saying. You can purchase whichever tier you want. Don't let that bother you. The add to cart is only for the Humble choice. And you do not have to have that for any of the bundles at all. So, and this month is kind of hit and miss. I mean, but I do have a video if you want to take a look at that to see what's involved, or you can just click up to choice to see what that is. All right, if you want to give it as a gift, don't forget to click there, put their email in here, click there to make it anonymous because that's fun. And here's where you're going to pay. So pay with card, PayPal, Amazon, or Alipay. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will try to answer to the best I can or try to find an answer for you. All right. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you can see when all the new videos come out. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Until next time, this is Lava Temptress. Don't get burned. Bye.